Hey y'all, what's up? Thank you for tuning into Loudweed, where loud women elevate, educate, and discuss. We're a group of AZDHS compliant patients supporting the normalization of cannabis, and we're bringing you the marijuana community to share their talents and knowledge and help break the stigma attached to our beloved plant. Even though Arizona is not yet a recreationally legal state, the medical marijuana scene is flourishing and thriving, and we're excited to showcase the gifted and powerful local community here in Arizona. We are dedicated to fighting the taboo that comes along with being patients by discussing the good, the bad, and the ugly, and all that surrounds what being a modern-day stoner comes with. Some of our shows will be sensitive in nature, as our topics could include segments regarding mental health and traumas that have led to who we are today, so listener discretion is advised. And if you're under 18, invite your mom and pops to join in. Thank you for listening, and be sure to catch us every other Sunday on KDIF 102.9 live out of South Phoenix, or you can find us on a few of the major platforms like Anchor and Spotify. Now, let's get elevated.
Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon.
Hi there. Thank you for joining, and thank you everyone for listening. Good afternoon.
Yes, thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Oh, I know. Super stoked, dude. I've been checking out your page. I've been checking out your blog. I've actually been following you and I've been checking out your stuff, and I met you back in December for the Mary Jane Market. And so I'm super excited to get to chat with you today and sit down and just talk about everything that you do. So super pumped. Yep. But we are Loud Weed, Loud Women Elevate, Educate, and Discuss. I'm Age, and today we're chatting with Serafina. She's the founder of the CannaMom Just blog and Hi Mom merch. So thank you so much again for being here today. How's your week been?
Thank you again for having us.
Yeah, of course.
Good, crazy. It's been, an experience, I guess, with the kids being out of school and having to do everything full force here.
It's madness, right? It just never stops.
I never realized how much my kids ate until now. I'm like, oh my God.
It's so true. I'll tell you what, I finally had to tell my boys, like, look, I know you guys aren't eating every 2 hours. Like, come on, like, give me a second here. Just give me a second just to, like, collect myself.
Exactly. So, it's that bored eating that gets them.
Yeah, it is. And it gets me too, though. I can't lie. I'm super guilty of it. I was actually just saying, oh my gosh, all I want to do is just go in the pantry and just eat everything that I shouldn't be eating. But I'm bored. Like, I'm walking around my house. I'm walking in and out of the kids' bedrooms. Like, we've got bike riding and swimming, and we've just, I don't know. How are you?
It really makes you like regret all the things that you took for granted, like the little things, being able to go, like, the little things. Oh yeah,
it's
crazy.
No, totally. I just had a fantasy today of the days when I used to be able to walk into the grocery store and just have a huge selection of what kind of toilet paper I wanted to buy. And now it's been like, a month that I haven't had that. And I mean, just that, I'm like, come on, I'm ready for this to pass so we can resume our normal lives for sure.
Amen, sister. I feel you on there.
Yeah. So are you in your own little self-quarantine bubble at home? Are you able to do the whole stay-at-home order?
Yeah. So, I mean, we have a big family. So I actually stay with my mom and my brothers and my family of 5. So we have a family of 8 here.
Oh, wow.
So for as quarantined as we'd like it to be, I mean, we still have a pretty big group going here. So we have to take extra precaution, but it's not total chaos. It's just all of us here, being able to enjoy each other.
Absolutely. I totally get it. So, want to know a little bit more about you, your family life. I understand that there's about 8 people in the home. So you're a family of 5. So then you have 3 kiddos, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yep. So I've been with my husband for 7 years. We've been married for 2 years now. And in that whole mixture, we have a 9, a 7, and a 5-year-old, all girls. So we're a family of girls here.
Yeah, I bet that's fun. How are they handling this whole ordeal?
Better than I thought. I was actually surprised that my oldest came to me and said, when can I go to school again? Like she was really confused. Like, I really want to go to school. And I'm like, wow.
Yeah. Is this what all it took? I'm telling you.
Let's ban school more so that way we can get some more encouragement.
I know. My youngest one, he has his highs and lows for sure. And he is like, the other day he kind of said something similar, and he said, gosh, I can't wait to go back to school. I've been so bored. Like my days are just being ruined, not hanging out with my friends. I miss recess. And so, I totally get that. And then yesterday he was super upset because he wanted to go outside and play. And so we at our house are practicing the social distancing and trying to keep, our contact to a minimum. We're a family of 4 here at home. And so he was super upset because, again, he couldn't go outside with his friends. And it's only because we're just trying to take precautionary measures. My mother-in-law is older. My mother and father-in-law are definitely older. And so, those are the ones that we're trying to protect with all of this.
Yeah,
and so we
absolutely.
Yeah. And so I told him, I said, look, there's a couple ways that you can look at it, but here's what I'm going to tell you. You should be blessed that you are in your house under your roof with your parents and your brother. We are good. We are healthy. Yes, it sucks. Yes, it's boring. But you know what? Right now it could be worse. And so he really did sit and think about that and ponder that for a little. And so he got up and walked away, which is huge for him because he'll fight to the death. When he's stuck on something, he will stick to it.
Oh, yeah. My 7-year-old's like that. I know that feeling. But, I think even as much as we tell them what's going on, they don't really comprehend it, And so I try not to focus too much about what's going on out there, but more so like what we're doing here. And now, like, my husband's working from home, so having dad at home full time, that's a new experience for all of us. And, today we actually took advantage of the free lunches. We live literally right across the street from our school. So I saw a line today of, 5 or 6 cars, and I was like, I wonder what they're doing. And my husband says, it's free lunch. Why don't you go take the girls? So he said, hey, girls, come on, let's go get lunch. We all hopped in the car and we got lunch, and they were over the moon. Let me tell you. That little bit of interaction, it was like enough for them. I'm like, you know what? We're going to do this every day.
Yes.
Cool mom points.
Yes, absolutely. And I love that about what's happening right now is we go for walks and things like that. And you're seeing so much more of a family dynamic out there. More than I've ever seen. I don't know about you, but more than I've ever seen. And that just makes me happy. So I feel like you said, not focusing on what's going on around us, but what's going on in our homes. And I think that it's really bringing a lot of families together and closer together. I don't know. That's just the way that I've been looking at it. So I've definitely, I've been, and then to add to that, I've also been really working on myself, and I find myself like dissecting every aspect of every thought and why I'm doing this, what emotions coming up. It's been wild. So I feel like it's serving me some good to maybe hash some stuff out while I have some downtime.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, we have the time. Why not? Let's invest in ourselves and our family. And I totally agree. Like you said, like the family dynamic, I feel, is really coming back. The culture of that all togetherness. Let's be united. Let's help our neighbors. Like you can feel it. And I feel like, unfortunately, it takes big ugly to make this big happy. But the end game is like, it's amazing to see people come together and really support and love on each other.
Yep, 100%. I couldn't agree more. So let's talk a little bit about what was life like pre-blogger and pre-Hi Mom merch. What did you do? What was your past life like?
Okay, so I had been working at a Honda dealer for most of my life. Shout out to my Honda team. I worked at Showcase Honda for a very, very long time. In the accounting department, and that's all I really knew. My mom has been in the car business all my life, so that was really my scene. And one day I was just, so upset. My husband's like, what's going on? What's wrong with you? And I'm like, I'm so miserable. Like, I'm making good money. I have a good job. I have job security. My hours are bomb. I have the perfect, ideal job, but I'm miserable. I need help.
Yeah,
and my husband said, babe, you know what? Quit your job. you can find another job, just quit your job. So
Amazing.
I quit my job and I looked for work, you know, elsewhere, and I did a few jobs here and there, and I didn't really find anything I liked until a friend of mine had said, hey, there's a job at the dispensary. Do you want to come in and be a receptionist? It's not going to pay much, but, you know, it'll get your foot in the door. And I'm like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
So I started in a dispensary and I fell in love. And that's when I really fell into the cannabis community. I didn't even start smoking until after I had my third baby. And she's 5 now. So that was only 5 years ago that I began to smoke.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I'm a fairly late bloomer when it comes to smoking. I tried it in my past and it didn't really do anything for me. I guess I really didn't know how to cope with my anxiety through some of the highs that I was experiencing. And I was like, you know what? Cannabis just isn't for me. And I just swore it off until I had my third kid and said, what am I doing without it?
You've been under my nose this whole time. I love it.
Yeah,
I love it. So what's your favorite strain out there right now?
So I'm like really stuck on cherry pie. I don't know, cherry pie and blackberry. It's like though any strain, blackberry, cherry, those terpenes for me, that's what does it.
That's what does it. Nice. Nice. And is that indica or sativa? What's your preference?
More of an indica hybrid. I like to stay away from full sativas. I'm a very anxious person naturally, so I don't need that extra surge in me. Yeah,
same here. The same thing happens to me with sativas. I try and steer clear if at all possible. And then what's your favorite way to smoke? Are you blunt? What do you like? Joints?
I'm more of a joint person, although recently I've been on like a little blunt kick. So like I'll go back and forth, but I really just like handcrafted joints. My mom was a big smoker. And so I remember just sitting there watching her roll up when I was little. I was like, man, I can't wait to do that. That looks awesome.
I love that story. I love that story. You know, I often... I think this came up when we interviewed with Marley Bob, and, you know, he said the same thing about his dad when he was younger. And so one of the questions that we asked him was, what was your perception of that? You know, because my dad was also a smoker. And so I never thought twice about it. And then I realized it clicked for me one day. Hey, this is what they were doing. And so with it, it was the norm, the smell. I didn't think twice about it. And that mind frames also helped me with my own kiddos. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Like my mom, back in the day, she was a single mom of 3 kids. So, you know, what is she doing without it? Obviously, she needed it to cope through that journey of motherhood.
Absolutely.
So I remember being young and my mom, like I said, would roll up and it'd usually just be me and her outside. My brothers were addicted to video games. So usually me and her just kicking back outside. She'd go off to the side of the house, tend to her garden, kind of smoke. We'd talk about our day, and it was like our chill time. And I remember like that was the only time that she and I really got together, and I loved it. And then growing up, I was like, damn, my mom was sitting there smoking weed with me. Like, you don't think about it until you're older and you're put in that perspective of, man, am I going to continue to do this? So now when it comes to cannabis and my own kids, I just say, I'm going to teach them better. You know better, you do better. So a lot of people have asked me, like, don't you feel like you're corrupting your kids by putting cannabis in them? And I'm like, no, I'm educating them differently. We're learning differently. There's nothing wrong with what we're doing, you know?
I agree. That's how we live. That's how it is in my house as well. Totally agree. So what activities or helpful advice can you offer to all other moms out there, as a CannaMom, as someone who is breaking through the norm of that regular 9 to 5? And then, you know, what activities are you having your kiddos do right now while we're all just staying home?
Yeah, well, I think one of the big ones for us as individuals is that like alone time, especially being quarantined and confined with everyone that we love so much, but that can drive us just as utterly crazy. You know, you need that unplugged time to be alone. And so what I've been doing is I've found journals that I've been able to buy online to help like affirmation journals. I sit there in the mornings. I have like 10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes at night. And my husband is a big supporter of this. He has his alone time. So we'll kind of manage the kids off and on to make that work. We also allow that for our kids as well, because our kids, they're going to get stir crazy being here. Not only that, but with siblings, sometimes they need that alone time. They need that space because usually they have school to kind of, you know, get them in that place of where they're at as far as age level and what have you. So we do alone time for our kids, you know, hey, 10 minutes, you can go do whatever you want. You can go on your pad, watch whatever you want. It's you time. So that's a big one too. But as far as activities for the kids, girl, I am a Pinterest queen. So I have a blog full of things to do, easy things. Like we do a lot of cornstarch and shampoo and just random lotion stuff that we have laying around that we can just entertain ourselves with.
I love it. I love it. Well, I'm anxious to get to that and check all of that out. That's amazing.
Hi, so we wanted to take a minute to tell you all about Anchor. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to start your own podcast. I had no idea what I was doing, so I just kind of Googled around and I found Anchor, and I want to make sure that you don't have to do that if you're thinking about starting your own podcast. It's absolutely free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. They also help you get it out onto Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and a whole bunch more. You can make money from your podcast from the very first episode. It literally is everything you need to make a podcast in one place. So all you need to do is go download the free Anchor app, go to Anchor FM to get started. But now let's get back to the show.
Alrighty, and we're back. For those of you just tuning in, we're chatting it up with Serafina. She's founder of CannaMoms blog and Hi Mom merch. We chatted just a little bit ago about mom life. Now we're going to talk about your blog. So let's just start from the very beginning. We talked about your previous life prior to. How did the blog start? What piqued your interest? What inspired you?
So, like I said, I had found a job at the dispensary, and obviously I'm not working there anymore. My life, it kind of just took a turn, and the universe was telling me it's time to stay home. You've never stayed home with any of your kids. Just stay home. And with the support of my husband, I was able to kind of quit corporate America altogether, or a job, and just kind of focus on being a mom. And so I did that for like maybe 2-3 weeks. And I was like, okay, I need to do something. So then the blog came to idea. Okay, well, why not do this and bring something in like cannabis that I hadn't admitted out loud to people, and kind of scope it all out and have it where I can kind of vent, share my journey with other people, but more so encourage others to speak their truth with cannabis and their, you know, things like that. So about July of 2019, I said, you know, I don't know how I'm going to do this, but I'm going to YouTube it until I figured it out. So I YouTubed how to, you know, get a domain name and do all this stuff. I got a logo made. And from there, it just kind of took off. I love getting input on what people want to hear. And everyone's always said, you know, you're a crafty girl, do what you do best and show us how to do what you're doing.
I love that.
So I try to do that. I try to be open and honest. And right now, CannaMoms blog is kind of just my fun space. But 2020, I'm with the feedback that I've gotten from a lot of moms of, hey, you know, I haven't quite told anyone that I smoke, and this is what is going on.
Common thing.
That is encouragement. And I'm like, this is why I need to keep doing this. 100%. This is why. So yeah, that's where it's going now.
No, and you know what? I love that. I think that speaks volumes, because I think there are more people than we can even imagine that are living in that cannabis closet, and maybe one foot out the door. It's not an easy thing, and it should be, and it shouldn't be that big of a deal, but you know, unfortunately it is. So keep doing what you do. I think that's amazing. I love that.
Thank you. Yeah, it's definitely scary. I mean, even to this day, I think about it and I'm like, okay, well, if let's just say worst case scenario, blogging just comes to me blogging and that's all it is. You know, I don't make an income off of this and I don't get big and it's just my blog. I mean, for me, just having known that I'm doing it and it's getting at least one person to speak their truth and feel comfortable at it, but yet me come out and say, like, that's what it's all about. That is what it's all about.
Yes, I agree, 100%. So do you have a target demographic? I know it seems like it's aimed towards or geared towards, you know, the mom life and things like that, but is it for any and all ages, anybody, or do you have a specific target demo?
So throughout like kind of curving and learning what I want to do with my blog, I figured definitely supporting CannaMoms. I mean, I need to have some kind of support system for women who aren't ready to speak their truth, but still want to know more, want to learn more, want to, you know, be involved more or something. They have that outlet to do so. But more so, I think for me, I get so emotional about it just because it's like, it's my personal journey that I'm sharing for everyone. I'm being very vulnerable and real about why I use cannabis, things like that. But I feel like 2020, like I said, I just want to shape it more towards where it's all about the normalization and the encouragement. And I don't know, I guess I'm getting lost in my own thought here, just support of other CannaMoms and women, I guess, who smoke. But my husband being, you know, a patient as well, it's like canna parents. A lot of my stuff is girly, so I guess it's more women.
But I mean, at least it has a message. And, you know, us women, we're talking to our partners like, hey, check this out, you know, so we're still reeling them in. We're still reeling them in.
Yeah, so I guess more so people with kids and parents, like I want men to feel welcome too. I have single dad friends that I'm constantly pushing my stuff to, like, hey, check this out. You know, it's for everybody.
I love that. That's beautiful. I really love your story. And I mean, just in talking with you, you can tell how passionate you are. It's a real beautiful thing. I'm super stoked for you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course. So we're going to take one more quick break. And when we get back, we're going to talk about Hi Mom merch, which is Serafina's merch line. Everything from, gosh, you name it, she's got it. She's got some pretty cool stuff, signs. I think there were some trays, there were some earrings, tons of stuff that I saw. So we'll be back in just a few minutes to chat about that. Hey everyone, we're back with Serafina, CannaMom blog, CannaMom Just blog. I'm sorry, I keep butchering that. CannaMom Just blog, and also founder of Hi Mom merch. So there's one last thing that we're going to chat about today, and that's your merch line. Again, we met at the Mary Jane Market in December. I saw everything that you do. I did also want to mention that I loved your setup, and then I come to find out that you love Pinterest, and so that makes a ton of sense because I love Pinterest, so that makes perfect sense. You're super talented. So where did it all start with Hi Mom merch?
Thank you. So Hi Mom merch kind of fell into like just finding my passion, I guess. When I first started even my blog, my intention was to make an impact while generating some kind of income with staying home, you know. I like to be a busy bee, and one thing that I've always done well is crafted. I'm an artsy person. I'm that person. I'm known for hosting really big parties. So I can't wait for this coronavirus to go away so I can have tons of parties and have all these people over again. But that's kind of where it started. And I remember there being a time where people from all walks, I mean, I've done cakes, I've made rosaries. I have a long chain of things that I've done as far as like side hustles. And I've always had people tell me, your hands are gifted, your hands are talented. And a lot of the time I'm like, okay, like that's strange. Like, why would you know, you really don't think anything of it until one day you're like, maybe I have this super gift. And it's like, let's put it to work now. So Hi Mom originally came from me just starting like to sell my handcrafted goods. And then with having done the Mary Jane Market was actually my first ever market, having vended ever at all in my life. And it was amazing. And to see everyone within the cannabis community come out, people that I've seen at other events who stopped by to support me. Like, it was just so welcoming and so amazing that I'm like, okay, this is what I'm really going to do now. I really want to make merch for these people, stuff that we really want, you know? So I'm really excited to announce that next week we're going to be dropping our trays and stash jar line. So we have
sweet.
brand new resin metal rolling trays. They're freaking awesome.
That's exciting.
I've been sitting on them trying to hold tight until I had everything. And I'm like, you know what? Go in here on Loudweed. That'll be awesome to announce it. So we have lots of cool stuff. And I say we because Hi Mom merch, I don't do it alone. My sister from another Mr. Cynthia, she's my business partner in this. Together we own NYBM LLC, Not Your Basic Moms.
Love that. Shout out, Cynthia.
That's bank purposes. Yeah, shout out to my boo. We've been friends for so long, and we've done all these crafting things together. We actually used to go dance back in the day together.
Nice.
Like, we run deep. And now I'm Hi, she's Mom together. We're Not Your Basic Mom. You know, not your average moms. We're over here trying to do the damn thing. So we have trays, bags, all kinds of goodies.
I cannot wait to check it out. That is so awesome. So we've talked about your long-term vision. What's your for your blog long term? What are you thinking for Hi Mom merch? I know that we're expanding to, you know, your jars and your trays and things like that, but are you wanting to get into maybe, you know, anything else? Are you wanting to get your line in somewhere else? It may be in stores. Is it already there? Where can we find all of your stuff?
So right now we're running off of Etsy. We do have an Etsy page to where we have been selling exclusively. And other than that, we were doing vending experiences up until, again, all this coronavirus junk. But long term, we are looking to get into some stores. We have some good friends with some local smoke shops and dispensaries here in town. So we're looking to get that done. But right now it was more just so creating the products. So now that we have all these products that we're going to start to share, that's kind of our first step. And then incorporating that with my blog, because when we go sell at events and stuff, that's a great opportunity for me to educate people who walk by my booth and want to stick their nose up at it. You know, I'm like, don't judge me because of this leaf. There's more to me. There's more to my booth. There's more to what I'm doing. Let me explain. And that's when I get to make those connections. And I feel like that is the most important. So the rest of our journey through 2020 is just going to be to touch as many people as we can to educate who we are and what we're doing and getting our name out there. Personally, with my blog, I'd love to get out there and start going to like more educational events and things like that for the cannabis community. So that way I learn more and I can teach more and, you know, encourage more, kind of go that route. So if anyone knows of good events, shoot them my way. I'd love to get into something like that.
100%. That's so exciting. I love your vision. I fully support that. So exciting. I'm just trying to understand how you do all of this and still have time to be a mom. So much.
Girl, it is a challenge, but day by day, I mean, it starts with a great support system and being that my kids are in a house full of people who love them. It's easy to get help and the support that I need to do what I got to do for my blog and Hi Mom merch. But ultimately, my job is mom, you know, and that'll always come
first and foremost.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. So I have one last question for you. What's the first thing that you will do when our lives go back to normal? So it sounded like you want to throw a pretty big bash because you like to organize an event plan. So is that what you're thinking, or is there something a little bit different that you want to do as soon as you get that green light?
So as soon as I get that green light, personally, I'm going to a sit-down restaurant to enjoy a nice soda and a nice dinner with my family. But after that, I want to do events. I want it, like, my vision is pretty big and extensive when it comes to this. I dream pretty hard, but I'm pretty positive that what I'm doing, I'm going to get there with the support of the people around me. Great women like you guys, Panda. I mean, shout out to everyone for wanting to bring me on. It's great.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Thank you for your interest and also wanting to come on and share everything that you do. I mean, you definitely, I feel, are reaching people, are going to reach more people. And I mean, I'm just so excited to see where all of this takes you.
Thank you. I'm nervous and excited, but I'm ready to do it.
Let's do it, girl. So go ahead and plug in all of your info, where we can find you on all your major social media platforms, your blog, Etsy, anything else that you want to plug in so our listeners can go to it, check you out.
Yeah, absolutely. So you can follow me on all social media at CannaMom Just Blog. All spelled out, and then at Hi Mom Merch for my merch page. You can find my blog, www.cannamomjustblog.com. And on my Hi Mom merch page, we do have a link in our bio that'll take you right to our Etsy store. Like I said, come Monday morning, we're uploading all of our new stuff. So stay tuned for that.
That's exciting. And I'm super stoked that you decided to unveil that on Loud Weed. So we feel super duper lucky for you sharing that news on our show today.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you again for having me. It's been fun.
Yeah, of course. Well, I appreciate your time. It was great chatting with you and getting to know you. I hope you have a great rest of your week and weekend. Sending tons of love to you and your family and loved ones. Stay safe and blessings to you. Have a great night. Thank you.
Thanks, girl. You too.
Bye.
Bye.